Good afternoon, everybody. It is Monday, July 17th, 2 p.m. Eastern. Hope you had a good weekend. Currently in an MARA short that I'm keeping an eye on with the Bitcoin weakness, but tight stop. Looking to lock in profit, and we'll probably stop out while we're on this stream unless things get dumpy. One more note, this Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to do a live webinar talking about the trading journey and the different phases through that trading journey. Check my mic. Mic is... Oh yeah. Got it. Thank you. All right. Echo gone. Thanks for the heads up. So this Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern, doing a live webinar talking about the trading journey, the different phases of the trading journey, because I see so many people that have unrealistic expectations. And so we're going to go over what you should expect in your first couple years, your middle years, your advanced years, and the things that you should be looking to tackle. And then we'll have a PDF with all the resources that we've been putting out over the years of things that align with those different phases. Essentially, beginner, intermediate, advanced, and breaking it down that way. And then we'll do Q&A and all that fun stuff Thursday. So I'll see you there. So right now, Bitcoin is weak. We're on the verge of weekly consolidation. And if we do see weekly consolidation, it'll be a break of 29.9. We're holding it by $3 at this point. And then we're going to watch weekly EMA 12, which the bulls ideally want to hold. And if we lose that, I'm then watching this uptrend support line. And again, got to put on our bear glasses to be ready for anything. And this is a potential weekly rising wedge. And so if this were a rising wedge, that would be potentially shaping up a 4-month lower high. But I'm not worried about this pattern right now. What would have this pattern gain validity for me is if the weekly consolidation forms a higher low off that level, and if we break the upper 31,000s zone that we're struggling with, if we were to break that with no follow through, then we'd say, all right, that's a rising wedge. So keeping an eye on that, but more so just watching for the weekly consolidation that we're anticipating is likely shaping up right now. Again, it's just the bears trying to give it this little push over, and we're not getting there just yet. There's some stop out on MARA short, which means Bitcoin's probably trying to shape up a 5-minute uptrend. So last live stream we did it was during the XRP mania, and we got that climax top being set, and that obviously has marked the top at this point. I did make a Bitcoin entry after that in the 31.3s or so, in case the bulls were able to get over the 31.5 wall of resistance, which we did with no follow through. And so I stopped out of that position when the 4-hour higher low was lost. And so that ended up just being a small loss, but for transparency's sake, it was a red trade. So from here, watching for weekly consolidation, watching for a weekly higher low to be the result of that consolidation. And we can see it in the crypto stocks as well. MARA, daily consolidation underway. This is the first convincing 2 red days in a row since this breakout started. So that's an entire month without 2 red days in a row. And now we're seeing it. So that's telling us a shift. There's a shift underway. We've been riding 4-hour uptrend the whole way. And again, we're just seeing the shift, which for me increases probability that Bitcoin is shaping up weekly consolidation. And one thing to note, Bitcoin is not trading in relation to anything right now. It's not responding to the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 right up at 52-week highs. It's not responding to the dollar. I mean, the dollar just absolutely collapsed last week. And the fact that Bitcoin could not use that, I mean, we had silver and all these commodities having some strong bull moves last week because of the dollar weakness, and Bitcoin just not participating. So it's not trading inverse to the dollar right now. It's not correlated to the broader market right now. It's really in its own world. And it's on the verge of weekly consolidation. 29.7 and 29.4 supports are in play. And even if we hold those supports initially, I would be viewing anything under 31.8 or 31.9 as a daily lower high as the result of next bounce. So bulls attempting to hold on here, but on the verge of breaking support. The dominance chart saw the big drop with the XRP and altcoin bull move that we saw last week, but I'm anticipating that the dominance chart is likely going to set a weekly high or low. And again, what would align, what would be the more likely scenario for the dominance chart to see a weekly high or low in this uptrend? The only way that happens is if everything's going up and Bitcoin is outperforming, or if everything's going down and Bitcoin, or I should say altcoins, are leading the way down. And with the current setup, for me, the more likely scenario would be weekly consolidation for Bitcoin, altcoins weaker on that consolidation for the weekly high or low attempt on this dominance chart. So that's something we're going to keep an eye out for as well. There are some altcoins with some strength. We can see Sushi here had that tightening equilibrium, break bull, some follow through, but giving a good bit of it back. Sushi will look for a 4-hour high or low, but at this point, we measure the retracement size, and we have given back over 50% of the last leg up, so a tightening range is most likely. So let's talk XRP. What you will very often see when you find a climax top or a climax bottom is tightening. This is what I call the zoom out game, where you just see a tightening range one time frame to the next. So XRP tops out with the 15-minute volume climax, and we then form a 15-minute tightening range for a few hours. So we got our high, low, lower high, higher low, sideways, 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 bear break. All right. So the 15-minute tightening range is now out the window. So then we zoom out. Hourly. Now we look for the hourly tightening range. And we get the high, higher low, lower high, lower low. Quickly broke bear. All right. So that's check mark for bears on the 15-minute. Check mark for bears on the hourly. Then we go to the 4-hour time frame. Do it all over again. High, higher low. And then at that point, because it was the weekend and we traded sideways, I defaulted to the 12-hour time frame and then said, all right, we're looking for a 12-hour equilibrium now. High, low, lower high, anything above 66.8 is a 12-hour high or low, and it's entirely possible that this tightens up for another 24 hours plus. And this is going to be the next information that we get. If it's a 12-hour bull break of this tightening range, we will then be looking for a daily lower high and a daily tightening range. You just go one time frame to the next. And that's where you find the clarity. And so, in hindsight, yes, the volume climax marked the top. The pullback retracement size was over 50%, or at least right around it, which tells us scout equilibriums, don't scout continuation. Whoops. So over 50, about a 60% pullback there. So we know a lower high is the most likely result of the next bounce. And again, the mechanics of a short squeeze is I don't know what the word is, perpetuating, self-perpetuating, just triggers of stops and buying at the ask. And as soon as you exhaust that, that's the top being set for a significant period of time. When it gets that extreme. You know, if XRP went up 35% on that news, we'd be looking for potential continuation. But 100% move, you're just clearing out the order book. You're not establishing support on the way up. And once that climax is hit, that's it for now. So 12-hour is where the equilibrium is most clear. And the BTC pairing is doing the exact same thing. Keep an eye on it for any clues, but for now, no clues, doing the same thing as the US dollar pairing. ETH, pullback on the daily, technically still a daily uptrend. Again, whenever we see the bull breaks that lack follow through, draw the potential rising wedge. And this is actually more of a channel than a rising wedge. If we were to bounce off this, we would be scouting a daily lower high with a lot of space for it to form, anything under 2029. And then if the bears confirm the daily downtrend, weekly consolidation is then underway. So bulls need to show up. We've got downtrends on the 4-hour, the hourly. Bitcoin's really been struggling at the 4-hour EMA 12 all weekend, or at least Sunday into today. Just rejecting from 4-hour EMA 12. So, again, a lot of altcoins scouting weekly lower highs. Just go down the list. There are a bunch of names still in weekly downtrend. Sol's still a stronger name overall. Sol had the inside bars break bear. We're going to scout a daily higher low on Sol, keeping an eye on hourly oversold conditions, which we are now hitting. But I personally will be watching for 4-hour oversold conditions, because if Bitcoin's going to break weekly support and start weekly consolidation, I would anticipate, as I mentioned, the altcoins dropping faster and potentially seeing 4-hour oversold conditions. But as far as the weekly time frames are concerned, I mean, you just go down the list. We know Ape is in a weekly downtrend. The metaverse names, Mana and Sand, weekly. Anything that has weekly EMA 12 resistance is just not proving anything on this bounce. And we zoom in and look for the potential rising wedges to help mark the daily, or I should say the weekly lower highs. And so it's possible we bounce soon. Depends if Bitcoin's able to defend support or not, but if it does, bears will be scouting daily lower highs to try and confirm daily downtrends and start that weekly consolidation. So bears that are not in positions are hoping for a bounce to scout those daily lower highs. Man is the same thing. Same potential rising wedge. Same weekly EMA 12 resistance. ADA. Does it still have weekly EMA 12? It does, even after that big move up. Tons of space for a daily lower high. For many altcoins, daily lower highs are the most likely result of the next bounce whenever that takes place. So as far as determining the most likely scenarios, this is where a lot of traders get tripped up, because the most likely scenario on a lot of names are weekly higher lows. Bitcoin, I'm watching for a weekly higher low. But daily lower highs are the most likely scenario as well. So those are two obviously conflicting directions. It depends on what time frame matters the most to you and what time frame you're focusing on. So answer that question in advance. Do you care more about looking for daily lower highs as an altcoin bear, or patiently waiting for a weekly higher low as a Bitcoin bull? And right now, Bitcoin is knocking on the door of the low of the day. And again, we're not extreme. You know, the hourly RSI is just getting oversold. The 4-hour is not close. You know, we're not in any extreme levels here, so it's definitely possible to see weekly consolidation. And as far as the crypto stocks, I will be watching for hourly oversold backburner bounces. MARA, this is first hourly oversold conditions, getting there right now, not officially, on the verge of first hourly oversold conditions, looking for a daily higher low and watching daily EMA 12 support coming into play. Not quite in play, but I don't love the setup of looking long these crypto stocks because Bitcoin is teetering at support. And these crypto stocks, depending on how much they pull back, they're going to be creating space for a potential daily lower high to be the result of the next bounce. And they may be shaping up weekly consolidation, considering we just ran 100% since our last weekly consolidation. So pullbacks, inevitable as a part of uptrends, and weekly higher lows will be on watch for Bitcoin, MARA, Riot, Coin. Are the coin bears showing up? Not really. Holding well, daily inside bar. Matic. So Matic is a daily uptrend still. Again, we got to start zoomed out. What's the most likely scenario? A weekly lower high, anything under 97 cents. We're struggling at weekly EMA 12. We are still in a daily uptrend, and anything above 7125 is a daily higher low, and we're testing daily EMA 12. So again, there is a scenario here where we could see some daily bounces shape up. The bulls need to show up real soon, like now. But what's the most likely scenario after this size of a pullback? Matic could see a bull move of 10% and still form a daily lower high. So the big question from here is, can the bears confirm a daily downtrend to shape up the weekly lower high in the longer term downtrend? If we're going to get a daily bounce, the bulls are going to have to confirm a 4-hour uptrend. We're not close to doing that right now. Essentially, it would need to be either Bitcoin holding this support and turning around and getting over 4-hour EMA 12 if we're going to see a daily bounce shape up in altcoins, or Bitcoin breaking support with zero follow through into a V-shaped bounce, which we've certainly seen many times before. Long story short, if not in an altcoin bearish position, I personally would be much more comfortable with the risk and reward on a daily lower high entry. COMP. Trying to set a daily high or low. So again, daily uptrend is our guide. We're aware that there's potential weakness elsewhere, but as long as 65.16 holds, the bulls keep the uptrend going. Let's see if a 12-hour head and shoulders is shaping up. You can make the argument. Something, again, daily uptrend, all bulls there, but put on your bear glasses so you're just not caught by surprise. If we fail the high and confirm a 12-hour downtrend, that would be a 12-hour head and shoulders confirming into the first indication of potential weekly consolidation. But burden is on bears to see that happen. So this is definitely one of the stronger coins out there right now. And without even looking, we know COMP. BTC is up near the highs. Not quite near the highs, but still in the daily uptrend. And again, you're not going to find many BTC pairings that are in an uptrend over the last month. So it certainly stands out that it does still have that relative strength. All about the daily high or lows and whether or not Bitcoin falls through our supports, 29.7, 29.4, and heads down into weekly consolidation or not. Still battling. Bulls aren't rolling over in Bitcoin. But they're also not doing anything to go on offense. Link is a weekly lower high, the most likely scenario. I would say anything under 880 is a weekly lower high. It's a solid bounce. This is an equilibrium setup. Look at the bounce retracement size. It's over 50%. So that means watch for the potential of a tightening range. So as far as altcoins where weekly higher lows are the most likely scenario, you know, I mentioned Bitcoin, I'm watching for a weekly higher low. Link is a name that you can watch for a weekly higher low next consolidation. What's the indication of weekly consolidation? A loss of the daily uptrend. Daily uptrend still intact. Trying to set the higher low now. Need to confirm the 4-hour uptrend from here. If we confirm a 4-hour uptrend, the daily higher low is set, and we're looking back to the recent high of 734. Do I not have Link on my screen? Why is Link not at the top of my list? Where did Link go? I didn't delete Link. There it is. Okay, never mind. Link's up near the top of the list. A lead bull today. Was that hourly? Yep, hourly. Well, no. We hit hourly oversold, and we did drop to a lower low from there. So as far as names holding on stronger, Sushi, Link, Comp. But we know they won't be able to withstand if Bitcoin were to drop another 3% from here. But they're positioned well if Bitcoin can hold support and get over 4-hour EMA 12. That's the simple statement for me, the simple guide for Bitcoin. If we can't get over 4-hour EMA 12, the bears have complete control. That's step number one for anything to shift. And if 4-hour EMA 12 is resistance, nothing is shifting. The bears are real confident. INJ. Believe this is a relative bull as well recently. Yeah, so looking for a daily high or low, anything above 783. So here's one where, you look at this and say, okay, well, that was an inside bar bull break that then broke to a lower low. So do I consider this a daily downtrend? I don't. It's not much of a pivot. If you go to the 2-day time frame and smooth it out, it's a more clear trend there. That just shows me that we confirmed a 4-hour downtrend. And there are often times where the rollover of the candle, the timing of a move, will dictate how it looks, meaning, sometimes on this daily candle, if the bull move had happened a few hours earlier, then this upper wick would have been on this candle. So there are times where the time frame sometimes makes things a little bit less clear. I should say when a move happens based on the daily candle closing sometimes is a bit unclear. But it was a clear 4-hour downtrend confirming. And now the bulls will have to gain a 4-hour uptrend for the daily high or low to be set. And again, anything that's in a daily uptrend. Ooh, and this is one to be watching. This is a double top. And if we lose the daily uptrend, then it's a convincing rejection. We'll be looking for a weekly high or low as well here. INJ is definitely on the weekly high or low watch list for when the weekly consolidation begins. But this is a key double top test. This has been happening a lot in stocks. And I actually made an entry in the solar sector today this morning on this same concept. And the concept is an inability to break resistance, a bull flag holding EMA 12, and then you break the double top. I entered ARKK for a swing trade because the weekly time frame was doing the exact same thing. Inability, it's a cup and handle. Inability to break resistance, bull flag holding EMA 12, breakout. And so for INJ, the psychology of the setup is the same. And that psychology is inability to break resistance, trying to hold daily EMA 12 for a bull flag to then get over that double top. But we must hold daily EMA 12 because as soon as you lose it, then the retracement size is too significant. You're too far away from that resistance. It gives the bears confidence. And there's a bunch of these setups out there. PENN. Can it hold daily EMA 12 and break the double top? These are stocks, but I got a lot of stocks on the brain. So when I see a setup in crypto, I can sometimes say, oh, this looks familiar. I just saw this setup over here. GRTUSD. Daily equilibrium. Low. High. Higher low. Lower high. And now anything above 1097 is a daily higher low. There's space for that to try and form here. And we could easily tighten up all week into next week. You can go to the 2-day time frame. If it smooths it out, we have not officially set the 2-day lower high yet. I like the daily. So scouting a higher low compared to 1097 and looking to potentially, unless things get ugly in Bitcoin, looking to tighten up over the next few days still. Actually, yeah, CCJ is the same thing. So CCJ, uranium, 33, failed by less than 1%. Can we bull flag off EMA 12 and break the double top? And I'm actually looking for an entry in uranium on hourly consolidation. Did I miss it? When did that happen? It was just one 5-minute candle. So here goes Bitcoin testing 30,000. Low of the day is right behind it. Crypto stocks still weak at their lows. So bulls' backs are against the wall, and it looks like weekly consolidation is likely going to take shape. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Got some stock streaming to do here in a bit. I appreciate you checking in here and the likes and the shares. So again, for me, I'm favoring weekly consolidation on Bitcoin as the most likely scenario. To break 31.5 and see no follow through and then lose the 4-hour uptrend, red flag. That should be a level. When there's that much resistance at that level, that needs to be a level that triggers, $1,000 of follow through. For me, I said I need 32,000 plus if I'm going to say that's a bull break with follow through, which we obviously didn't get. But it shows us that, bears are not covering on that wall of resistance breaking. And we know that bull breaks with no follow through means scout the rising wedge. And so now weekly consolidation is on the verge. We'll be keeping an eye out for 4-hour oversold conditions, but it's not a back burner for me. Maybe it is on some individual names, but not on Bitcoin. Do good things, and we will check back in a couple days to see if that weekly consolidation is officially underway. And again, for me, I'm watching weekly EMA 12 is the first target, 28.7, and then my second target would be watching that uptrend support line, which would be more like 28,000. Thanks again. See you Thursday for the webinar. I'll see you before then.